unique pan banging technique.
I was trying to create a cookie that was just a thin and crisp cookie, and they just kept spreading, and so it came out of just like opening up and banging the pan. I realized, oh, I'm onto something here.
The cookie uses all the usual ingredients: butter, sugar, an egg, vanilla, and water, mixed together with flour, salt, baking soda, and of course, chocolate. The twist: after baking in a 350-degree oven for 10 minutes, the banging begins.
The cookie falls and collapses and creates a ridge around the edge. And then you let it bake 2 more minutes. It'll puff up, and then you repeat the process. So every time you pick up the pan and let it drop, it creates another ridge.
Yeah, we're having fun. Fun. I've been editor-in-chief, Adam Rappaport. And Adam is here with some chocolate chip cookie hacks, and George, Cecilia, and Ginger are going to help us all out by tasting the cookies. We won't talk to you. You don't have to talk because you're eating the cookies, but there are all different, or all kinds of ways to make chocolate chip cookies. Some people like they're thin and crispy. Other people like they're thick and chunky. But there's something with the ingredients, and there are 2 ingredients that are key to make that happen.
Every cookie is going to have butter and sugar.
Okay.
The question is, what's your balance? So if you want your cookies thinner and crispier, you want a little bit more white granulated sugar, which as it bakes can give you that nice crispy edge, and a little bit more butter, which sort of melts and pools out. However, Michael, if you like yours thick and chunky, which I think you do.
That's my nickname.
Yeah, thick and chunky. You're a little slimmer than your playing days. Yeah. You want more brown sugar. So brown sugar instead of white sugar, and brown sugar also has molasses in it, so it's going to give you that nice caramelly undertone. Also, we do a little brown butter. So we melt the butter first, get it browned, and that imparts a nutty flavor to the cookie.
Wow.
So you get it caramelly, you get it nutty, you get it thick and chunky. Laura, what are you thinking? I'm good.
I prefer the thin and crispy.
All right, well, that's you then.
Is there one?
I mean, just look at the 2 of you. You're thin and crispy. He's thick and chunky. All right.
But what about traditional? Most people, you don't have to use traditional chocolate chips.
No. All right, so this is what I love. All right, so instead of using chocolate chips, use bar chocolate. And what you want to do is just cut it up yourself, and you're going to get nice chunks and shards, and it's going to be nice and big, chunky blocks of chocolate. You get some shavings in there, and what's nice about it is, if you're like a sweeter chocolate, you go about more 60% cacao for the kids. If you like it more bitter, like about 70%. You'll see that on the bar. It'll say how much cacao is in the bar.
That's a good catchphrase.
Cacao. The lower the percentage, the sweeter it is. The higher percentage of cacao, the more bitter it is.
Could you use just classic milk chocolate?
I mean, you could, if that's what you're into. I mean, if you're an adult, I'm just saying you want it. You like it thin, crispy, and chocolatey.
Cookie shamed you. I've been cookie shamed on national TV. And
All right.
It hurts.
Next thing, making the cookies. Don't use a spoon. Use a little ice cream scoop.
Scoop.
3 ounces. That way, every single cookie is going to be the exact same. I don't have a pan, but I know how to do this.
But those are
also,
big cookies.
another
Those are going
thing.
to get cookies this size. If you want smaller, then
you can do smaller. But also, a cool idea. Instead of making cookies twice, make a double batch. Take these, put them on a sheet tray, put them in the freezer as they freeze, throw them in a resealable bag, whatever you want cookies.
Get one at a time.
Especially if you have kids, or if you check this out, Laura. You're having friends over for dinner. You're like, I'm going to make some homemade chocolate chip cookies for dessert.
Yes.
As you're eating dinner, you throw those in the oven. You're like, ooh, what's that smell?
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, our cookie tasters seem to like
I know, yeah.
all of
I
them.
all of them, but I learned something about myself.
What do you
Original.
Original? You
Original.
Original, George?
I like all of them.
We started this segment like 4 minutes ago. You're still eating cookies. You being finished.
For the Bon Appetit's best cookie, which we have online, we do that mix of brown butter. We then put in some regular unbrowned butter. We've got a mix of brown sugar and sugar, so it gives you crispy and chewy.
So
Bon
semi-thick
appetit,
chocolate.
baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Adam. And we don't want you guys to feel left out, so we have cookies for our entire audience. And you can find the recipe and all of Adam's hacks on our website, goodmorningamerica.com. Bring out the cooking guide. And tomorrow we've got tips for gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. And coming up